Alright guys, today I want to talk about producing more efficiently. So one thing I've noticed over my course of my career as a producer is the times I've actually made the best work, or I've produced the best stuff, it's been when I've been very intentional about taking breaks between production sessions. Because what I used to fall into this trap of sitting down at the computer for really long periods of time, and basically I would perhaps I would even be enjoying the process, but I wouldn't be making the best decisions as if I employ this other technique, which is what I do now, which is where I really take frequent breaks between production sessions. So I actually typically would do maybe 1 hour or 1.5 hours maximum sitting down at like one time, on the actual computer producing, right? And there's also, I can break it down to smaller segments of when you're producing as well. For example, I would also spend no longer than 20 minutes on one particular job, whether that's like, for example, layering a snare drum, or creating a new snare drum, creating like one particular drum sample, drum hit, or it could be whether you're like mixing the low end of a track, and you should probably only spend about 20 minutes doing that. Or it could even be, if you're doing sound design and you're designing like one particular patch, I'd also only spend like 20 minutes on like one patch at a time, and then like take a break and then work on something else, for example. So for those like sort of micro tasks that you're doing, I recommend like no longer than like 20 minutes on each one. And for things like for actually like sitting down to produce, like in general, like how long you would sort of sit at the computer, I would say like 1 hour or like 1 hour and 30, because at that, you start to get diminishing returns. Like, yeah, you could absolutely sit down and have a 2 or 3 hour long session. Like, obviously, a lot of people still do that, but I find that after like 1 hour or 1 hour and 30, you'll start to, your creative decisions will start to fatigue as well, Like, of course your ears will fatigue, that's very obvious. You can kind of tell, you're going to be, not only you're damaging your ears slowly, but you're also going to be, your hearing's actually going to be reduced during that session, So, your ears are going to fatigue, your creativity is probably going to drop as well. And so you have to manage things in the right amount of bursts, So what I recommend, 20 minutes for like one particular task that you're working on, and like 1 hour is pretty sweet, 1 hour 30 max, but sort of 1 hour per production session. And then if you manage to do like 1 hour, then you could probably have like a 30-minute break or a 1 hour break and then come back again, But even just having that like 30-minute break as like a minimum is really going to make like a massive difference to then your ear fatigue and your creative fatigue as well, So don't fall into that trap of like overproducing and producing for extended periods, like without taking breaks, because although you might be really in the flow, I actually also think it's quite nice to end on a high always. So let's say if you're like really in the flow and you've done something good, it's good to like stop and have a break there, because that when you come back to it again, you're already like on the right track, and you won't necessarily like lose your flow. If anything, you'll keep up the excitement for when you do come back to sit down, and then your ears will, most importantly, your ears will have been rested, and they are more refreshed, So the number one thing is to protect your ears, and number two is to protect your creativity as well. And this also stops you from falling into those patterns where you when you obsess over one thing and then it like demotivates you and you like lose motivation for that, what will basically happen if you like are more consistent with taking breaks is you'll avoid those circumstances, and you'll also have a greater level of like motivation as well. So you won't lose as much motivation because you haven't overextended yourself in one production session. So keep some of that excitement for sort of when you come back, and like don't feel free to like end on a high. That's what I kind of do. Like if I'm really in the zone and I've been working for like an hour, I like to sort of stop on the high, and then I know, you know, when I come back to it, I know I'm already, I can reaccess like what I was doing in that flow kind of state, like quite easily. You know, I don't like lose that flow state. You know, if I've ended on a high, it just kind of pause it for when you come back later. You know, with refreshed ears, so it's even better. You know, it's like a double boost. So anyway, take good breaks. Take care of your ears, take care of your body, and take care of your creativity and your overall day-to-day level of motivation as well, you know. So hopefully that's a little inspiring video. I hope it helps you guys out. It's just some things that I've learned along my production journey. Yeah, just to sort of show you guys, like, I've been through that phase where I've tried to produce for like hours and hours at a time, and I never really got the best results when I did that. I always get better results now when I do shorter, more focused sessions. I really like keep my ears fresh and keep my creativity fresh that way, you know. So hopefully it helps you guys out. Make sure you absolutely destroy that button that looks like a thumb down there, and or this one, not that, do this one. And subscribe as well if you're new to the channel, or if you've been watching for a while and you want to support, then subscribe. That helps a lot as well. Leave us a comment down below. And also check out the links in my video description. I've got preset packs for Serum, Faceplant, Vital and Current on my website. I've got one-on-one lessons available, mastering services are available, and I also have a great Patreon community with a Discord. Come along and say hi in there. And there's some affiliate links down below as well to some D&B samples that I really recommend, as well as some other stuff as well. So thank you very much for watching. More from me soon. Much love.